If we go up front, no commits up front for the Gators on the defensive line. And it's becoming clear that the board is starting to take a little bit of shape, though. You've been, you guys that are on three, and specifically you have been on top of the Texas A&M commit, Dalen Evans, and Florida's chances of flipping him. But you also, Kendall Jackson from Gainesville looks to be trending Florida, and DeAndre Robinson, L.J. McCray, Jaden Jackson, Nasir Johnson, all seem to be garnering heavy interest from Sean Spencer and company.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And I think that, like the ones you mentioned, those are the main guys to start with. And yeah, it's kind of interesting with Dalen Evans. I've kind of said, A&M, that's the in-state school. He can kind of visit there whenever he wants. I thought the most key thing, though, was when he visited Florida, his words were very eye-opening. I mean, he said, Florida might even be better in some spots. He had an eye-opening visit. And basically, you read what he said, it's like, man, why not flip? That's what fans were saying. That's how strong his words were. But then once you go home, you get out of that visit high and everything kind of starts to calm down. And then that's when I like to see where a school stands with the kid. So he went to A&M the following weekend, and you would think, okay, now he's going back to A&M. Now all the momentum's going to go back to the Aggies, kind of remind him why he committed there in the first place. But no, I mean, ever since even the A&M visit, he said they're basically neck and neck. And I thought that was very key. He came home, then went to A&M, and he still has those strong feelings about Florida. So, Florida is a real player for him. It's neck and neck. Official visit scheduled for June. I think that OB is going to determine everything, like where Florida falls in his recruitment. Does he make the move while he's in town? Or maybe it takes a few weeks and says, hey, I'm just sticking with A&M. But I think right now that's the hottest name on the D-line as far as a kid that's definitely trending, kind of going up for Florida. Kendall Jackson, who, now is getting recruited to play Ed, so he's now kind of with Mike in the Mike room. I mean, I think it's just a matter of when. I know he wants to have fun with recruiting. He's going to take his visits, but Florida's very high on him. He obviously is very high on the Gators. I think if you're putting out a mock class for Florida, if you don't have Kendall Jackson in it, I think it's very surprising, just based off where everything is right now. Things could change, but. Yeah, I think, and then obviously with DeAndre Robinson of Orlando, he's another kid that, June 2nd through the 4th, Florida is hosting so many official visitors. He'll be one of them. I think Texas might be the biggest competition for Florida. He is with Florida, too, there's a school recruiting the hardest. Sean Spencer, Billy Napier, they're contacting him every day. Florida was the lifelong favorite school. So if you're the Gators, you got to feel pretty good. But I know Texas and some other schools are definitely looming, and definitely could steal the spotlight with him. And LJ McCray, he's another one where I think probably the highest ceiling out of the bunch. Very long, has that prototypical size on the edge, and I think with him right now, I think it's Florida and Florida State. Those are the schools that have the most momentum with him. And I'd probably give the slight edge to the Seminoles just because he's visited there more often. It's extremely close, though, and I think it's just about getting him back on campus, continue to host him. I'm not sure if either one of those schools are going to get OBs at this point, just because it's not that far from home. So that's one thing to keep an eye on. But even if they don't, I don't think that'll affect much at all. He's going to be on campus quite a bit, and when you see every cycle when it comes to game visits, you see the trend of certain guys who just show up randomly every Saturday. I can see him being that one just because it's not that far from home. You can kind of decide at the last moment, hey, if you're going to go or not. So I think overall, Florida, you got to be feeling pretty good. I mean, they signed such a great D-line class a year ago, and then you got some guys in the portal. So overall, it's like you can't really feel kind of antsy about it just because, the proof is in the pudding with Sean Spencer and them. I think before it's all – I mean, they're going to get guys in the class sooner or later, and I think it's a great, impressive group to choose from because they're trending up for a lot of guys.
Want more Gators Breakdown? Join Gators Breakdown Plus. Starting at $3 a month, get access to unique episodes, plus a blog, chat room, giveaways, shout-outs, and more. Gators Breakdown Plus is furthering the interaction with fans and listeners like you. Head to gatorsbreakdown.supportingcast.fm to join Gators Breakdown Plus today.